We're live. Just had a little connection issue, but we got it fixed now. We're up at the grandparents' house in central Pennsylvania for Thanksgiving. Just got done the good old Thanksgiving feast. Turkey, mashed potatoes, corn, stuffing, cranberry sauce, all the good stuff. And now we are going over to look at some of these rock banks, see if we can load up on some slinging projectiles for some fun tomorrow, as well as find some fossils. Not going to be live for too long, just wanted to get out here and do a little bit of something and bring you guys along. So we're going to see what we can do. There's lots of rocks up along this bank, all up and down this road. So we're just going to kind of walk along, find the best spots, and see what we can find. Hey, Coal Region, how's it going? We're just walking, go find some good spots here for rocks. Rod Wilson, Raptor Will are in, two awesome members. Will, I'm planning on texting you and Randy later today about tomorrow, and if you guys want to do that and how that would work. So stay tuned for that. We're just gonna go out here for maybe an hour and look for some stuff. As you can see, we have this like dirt bank, and up on the top of it there's rocks. So and people ripping along the road, that too. So yeah, lots of good stuff in here. This is typically where I come to find the best stuff. So I guess we'll start here. We typically have some luck here. We'll just go like this. I'm just gonna, crawl around up there and see what I can find. That's kind of how I always do it. So yeah, here we go. We're just looking around. It's probably like 1 in every 50 of these rocks up here has a fossil on it, so they kind of all look like this, but every once in a while there'll be something that pops out of it. Looks cool. Here you go. This one's got something. Not exactly sure what it is, but you can see these little tracks in it with some texture in it. Huh. It also has a little piece of a shell on the other side. That's a cool one. Huh. I don't even know what that one is. I've never found one like that. I'm not sure if you guys can tell. It's cold and windy to the extent that my eyes are watering. Grammy Poppy and me checking in. Hey Matt, that's my uncle checking in from back down towards my house. My other set of grandparents are hanging down there, so. This is just a normal rock. Although, there is a fossil in this one too. Super tiny. But if you can see that hole there, that's a fossil as well. Yeah, it's cold out. It's like 38 here right now. I should keep the ones with fossils in this little bag I brought along. Where is it? Alright, here you go. We got ourselves a little sack, put the fossils in there. Boom. 2 more fossils to add. Yeah, that one is actually a really cool find right off rip. Wasn't much build-up, wasn't much dramatic effect to that one, but I've never found one like that, so that's pretty cool to me. I've been looking for fossil. Here's another one just like it. Good Lord, I'm on a heck of a run right now. Look at those. Let's flip it around. There you go. You can see the textures in there. I don't even know what that is, but that's awesome. There we go. Put that in the sack as well. Grandparents should be proud of this young man. Well, I appreciate all their support. Both sides of grandparents are amazing people, and I'm glad I have them. We also got a bunch of rocks, just collecting good-sized rocks for slinging tomorrow as well. While we're here, might as well. It's a very steep hill, but I am on an insane run right now. Look at that one. That's also a fossil. This is crazy. This is more frequency of fossil finds that I've ever had here. Another one for the sack, and oh my gosh, what in the heck? There's a huge one here too. This is crazy. That one's actually not even as cool as some of the smaller ones, so let's just keep the little guys. If I found a really big cool one, I'd keep it, but you know. This is also a fossil. What is going on right now? That's also fossil stuff. Let's get a little bit closer view. You can see all that texture. This is crazy. We're on a heck of a run right now. Usually I work on the right side of the mailbox. I'm on the other side, so maybe this is the better side. Alright, might be with Bob at the Stony Creek Anglers stocking tomorrow. Still have to ask my parents if they'd be okay with it. Alright, cool. Damien Graham says hi. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, we're just going to be out here for a little bit, checking for some fossils. Obviously, we've already found a bunch, which is pretty sweet. But, like, this is what this ground looks like. As you can see, underneath all those pieces of grass, there's just a bunch of... This is also a fossil. This is crazy. There's just a bunch of rocky soil stuff on the underside, and I'm just picking through stuff looking for fossil. Let's get you guys a little bit here. What's up from Brazil? Sweet. Chilly here in Cold Township today, windy just like there. Have you had snow yet today? We've seen some, nothing serious. No snow yet, but I'm predicted to get snow at my house, which is southeastern PA. I'm predicted to get some snow on Monday, I believe. So, yeah, interesting stuff. Is this a fossil too? Goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna throw that one up on the hill. Something for me to find and get excited about some other day as the tripod starts to blow over. Fossils are cool, and the fact that birds are actually dinosaurs is incredible and mind-blowing. Yeah, no, cool stuff. Another fossil, a couple of them with this holy pattern in them. Oh, and there's this one. This one's cool. It's a little chunk. I'll keep that one. I'm finding a bunch today, guys. The ones that are really cool are when you find them and they look like they have seashells in them. That's the cool stuff. We haven't found one of those yet today. But I have found a couple that I've never seen before, so that's also pretty sweet. Is $3,000 considered an acceptable monthly salary in the USA? Well, I guess it depends on how much you work. And I guess it depends on what you're doing. Like, acceptable for a 14-year-old is not acceptable for someone raising a family. But I don't know. I'm not the person to ask. Oh, here we go. Guys, I'm on an unbelievable run with fossils right now. So check this out. On the edges here, got some of that more holy pattern. You got some of this super fine textured stuff at the edge. And then right here, if you see, right there at the tip of my finger, that's a tiny little seashell. Matthew, that is true. I'm a believer myself, but I always tell this to people who come in and say that. It's fine and dandy to say stuff when you come into a live chat, but speaking with your life and letting people see it through your actions and the way you live your life is much more valuable and much more realistic of a way for people to understand than just saying stuff. Words can be very empty. Actions really are. Yeah, 3,000 is generally pretty low, but it depends upon what you're asking. Like, acceptable for a teenager and acceptable for an adult are not the same. This one's pretty sweet too. Well, I've never found this many in one shot. This is crazy, guys. Yeah, they just have a fossil bank right along the house here that we can find stuff at. You should meet me and Robbie from I'm Not Lost, I'm Exploring there sometime. Yeah. Holy smokes. There's a huge one right here. It's, all that texture is cool stuff. I'm gonna have to like select which ones I'm bringing home. This is a lot. Do you do metal detecting? I used to, actually. Matt, who's in the chat, and I used to do a bunch together, but our old metal detector stopped working, and to get something good that would last a good long time is kind of expensive, and I'm not like super vested in it, so it's not something I've kept up with. That's just how we have lowered the bar in order to employ people. Interesting perspective. I mean, teenagers should be able to get like a job at McDonald's and such for minimal money, but for general people, then yeah, $3,000 isn't very much for the general population. Horror movie on. Isn't Centralia the place they bit? Yeah. We should do more of that. Got to get better gear. Yeah, that's kind of expensive. I've got enough expenses right now, but yeah, no, it's cool stuff. Here's another fossil. Chuck that one over there. Another something for me to find another day and think is cool. I think this is a fossil. It looks fossil-y. It is. It's covered in a bunch of dirt. A lot of these more generic fossils are just a bunch of lines and crevices. I mean, they are fossils, but they're not as cool as when you find something more defined. So I want to see if we can find a big seashell looking one. Those are my favorites when we find those. I'm gonna crawl up to the top here, see what's up there. Down I come. Here I am. Am I from Kansas? No, I'm not. Yeah, minimum wage was meant for teenagers to learn, manage their money and time. Wasn't meant for adults in the first place. Indeed. Sorry I missed that. That gave more context. That gave more context to your earlier statement. Coral, other aquatic stuff. Yep. That is indeed. Cole Region says, done a lot of content in Centralia. Yeah, I've been around there, but I haven't actually ever like gone there. Dirt in my shoe. All right, we're back into this now. Let's go back over to this side. This side seems to have more stuff that's worth picking up. Oh, here you go. There's a shell. Right in the corner. Oh, and there's more on this side. That's one right there, actually. Yeah, that's worth keeping. I might want to chip this apart and see if I can break out some other stuff. We'll bring this back to the house and do some of that. Oh. There's more stuff right over here as well. That's our shell. We found a good shell now as well. All right, I'm gonna crawl up over here, see what's happening. We were on a hot streak right at the beginning, and now we significantly slowed down. Hold on here, I'm gonna reset the chat. Just bear with me for 2 seconds. All right, there we go. I haven't even mentioned this to the masses yet, but cars ripping by. Members have seen some of the behind the scenes of this so far, and some sneak peeks for Voyager and Up members, but I had a successful squirrel hunt yesterday, got the hide drying out back at home, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, some content on that coming as well. Let's turn the camera a little bit, climb back up here, see what's right here. Did I get a buck? No. I have not gone deer hunting this year. I'm gonna go bow hunting with my compound bow next season. But I did go out and have a successful squirrel hunt yesterday morning. I ate it. That'll be part of the video. And then I have the tail and the hide drying out to use for some other projects, which will also be part of that video. Not sure when I'm gonna get it done, but I did have a successful outing yesterday. So yeah. I'm not sure where else to go on this bank here. We can go up that way more, or we can go down this way. I think I see something just standing here. I do, but it's not all that interesting. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go down that way more. Grab my stuff. Oh no. I did find this one up there. Herbert's in. Hey Herbert. We're finding some cool fossils today for just a little bit after Thanksgiving. Then we're gonna go back, watch some football, hang out with the family, all that stuff. It is cold and windy out today. You can see how red my face is from just standing out here. I should have brought gloves, but I'll live. All right, let's see what other good areas we've got to look at. So a lot of these areas that get covered with leaves inherently have less fossils. Not inherently, because they have less fossils. This is cool. The dog's not happy at me. That's okay. These people are my distant relatives, technically. They're cousins of my grandma. I don't know what that makes them to me, but I'm related to them. Here's one I just found. Anyway, what I was saying is the areas, as you can see, this area is very rocky underneath. It doesn't have much leaves. Because the rocks are slick and the wind will just push them right off, the areas with lots of fossils don't have many leaves on top. So it's pretty easy in this time of year to look around and be like, all right, that area probably has fossils or doesn't have fossils because there's leaves over it. As you can see here, these areas have lots of weeds that grow up and then catch the leaves and prevent them from moving in the wind, whereas the areas with fossils don't have weeds and the leaves just slide off. So the clear areas have fossils, the ones with leaves don't have anything really underneath of them. So there you go. Let's check this area and then we'll keep moving down. Sorry about that, guys. A bunch of somewhat unentertaining fossils. There were some there, just nothing super cool. So we're gonna keep walking, keep looking. 8 people in here, 8 thumbs up. I know everybody's probably enjoying family, so I'm not expecting a ton of viewership, and I'm not gonna be doing it long anyway. But I did want to share what I was doing with y'all. So everyone up here knows one another, and everyone knows my grandparents. So it is kind of like a weird thing. I can somewhat got stuff on it, but not anything super interesting. Anyway, I can somewhat kind of wander all over the place, wherever I want up here, and nobody's really going to care because everyone knows who I am, essentially. But yeah, I don't like to like just completely meander all over people's property. As you can see, area with fossils, area with rock, and there's not many leaves on top. So we're going to look at this area here. Stuff down here. Oh, a bunch of people just came in. Suzanne says hi. I love Sigmas. Okay, interesting. Says hi, hello. Nancy's in, saying hi to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. We're just doing some post-turkey fossil hunting. Just for probably another half an hour or so. Then we're gonna go hang out with the family. Turn you guys a little bit so you can see what I'm doing over here. Found two cool ones up on that hill. Just gonna look over here for a minute. We got this guy. It's got the indentation from a shell that other stuff is actually filled in. And then there's this guy, which just has super small details on it, but pretty cool nonetheless. I'm gonna keep walking for a little bit, and then I might turn back here in a moment. Here's a good section. This whole section's got a bunch of rock. Hunter says hello. Happy turkey. Yep, from Matt. We're just gonna walk along this section, see what's right here for a moment. Can I get a shout out? Well, you have a channel that someone in the chat can go check out. Let us know what you're about. Something I can help you with. I live, my grandparents are from okay. Related to you. Jean lived in this house before. Yeah. My grandma is her cousin. Okay. So I was told that I can still be down here and mention someone. But if that's inaccurate, you can let me know. That was what I was told. What are you doing? I'm looking for fossils. No, you're good. That's kind of, and I knew this might happen at some point, because I knew like the ownership of the house has transferred over. So they said, yeah, you can probably still be down there. If someone wants you, if someone can sign to talk to you, just let you know who I am. Yeah, my grandma was she coming. So, yeah, I'm looking around for some talks and stuff. So that's all right with you, let me know.
Yeah, you're good. I was curious what you was up there.
Yeah, no, you're good. So as I mentioned, people who own this property are actually related to me distantly. The person who owned this house was my grandma's cousin. She has now since passed. I believe that's one of her children. And my grandparents said, yeah, you can probably still be down there. Just let them know who you are if someone comes up to talk to you. That's the first time it's ever happened. But yeah, I let them know, like, yeah, grandparents live up there. They were her cousin, all that sort of stuff. And then he was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. It's just he had no idea who I was. I don't know who he is because the people who lived here before, she has now since passed away. So, yeah. As I said, I can kind of meander around down here. This is not my property, but I'm allowed to be down here. You just got to communicate effectively. Ozzy from last week. I believe I remember you. Yeah. So, yeah, we're still looking around. As I said, not going to be here too much longer. Going to take some of our bigger pieces up to the house in a little bit and try and crack them open and see if there's anything else there. Do you remember me? I believe so. Did you change your profile photo? Usually the combination of profile photo and in person I can remember, but if you change something I might not. Not too much left over here. Yeah, he just didn't know what I was doing, which frankly, that's fair because I'm just wandering around on the side of the road. I don't know why he wouldn't know what I'm doing. All right, we're gonna turn around. Yeah, you did change the photo. I thought so. I'm gonna walk back up this way, check one more spot, then we're gonna head back to my grandparents' house, take one of those big pieces, see if I can break it apart because it looks like there's a bunch of stuff on the inside of it there. See if we can carefully knock that apart and get some cool reveal of the internals of it. But yeah, we're just gonna walk back up here. Oh, it is windy and cold. My eyes are watering. Hopefully the windsock is doing its job and you guys can still hear me. Oh. Walk back up. It is cold and windy. Tears rolling down my face. All the stuff. So that is the mailbox we were looking at. And then there's one up here for the next house. We'll do that real quick and then we'll head back home. Sorry for the crazy camera angles here. The wind is pushing this tripod all over the place. It's just a fun little live. These people up on the hill, they didn't used to have horses, but now they do have horses. So there's that. Yeah. He did not want to move over for me, like at all. All right, you can see tears coming down my face. It is cold and windy. All right, here's a nice little rocky bank section. See if there's anything good over here. So these pieces are a little bit bigger and flatter. They all kind of look like this. So these big pieces of stuff. Oh. You can break them apart fairly consistently and evenly. How does this go back together? I forget. Oh, like that. There you go. Piece has a couple in it. Nothing super fancy. Snipes in, says hi. Sweet, thanks for stopping in. We are out here on a rocky bank by my grandparents' house looking for fossils. Another section of rockiness right here. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody from here. Just watching from Pebble Beach. Well, thank you. Yeah, we're probably not going to be out too much longer. Our first spot, we hit gold, apparently. Usually it takes a little bit. You can find fossils. Yes, in fact, we found a couple. We got a bunch of them. I'll show you when we get back to the house. Our first spot, we kind of struck gold a little bit. And since we've been kind of dry, but that's all right. We found a bunch of stuff. We're gonna head back to the house. Mrs. Skeeter's in. It's kind of like some of the fossil banks up from where you guys are at that Bob and I went to when we were up there with you guys. But yeah. Anyway, we've got a bunch of fossils I can show you in a moment, Snipe. We are going to come back to the house here, take a look at them, and break some of them open, all that sort of stuff. Show you what we got. Not going to be live too much longer, and then we're going to call it a day. Head in with Dan, hang out. Tomorrow we might be doing an event. I got to coordinate with a couple people to make sure everything's all good to do so. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Molly pot? No, it's Dolly pot. No, we're just gonna kind of hit them with some other rocks, see if we can break them open the right way, kind of like flint nap them. Spending time with Skeeter's family, awesome. Yeah, we'll show you all the fossils we got here in a moment, Snipe. Break them open, see what kind of loot we found. There's some nice rocks that we can break them open on top of over here. Back at grandparents' house. Now, as I said, that fossil ground, literally just around the corner. We're gonna sit over here, see if we can unearth some of these fossils and go from there. Let's get a breaker rock, something with rounded edges and such. That's not too bad at all. We'll go with that. Go into the woods here. Hey, real bait. There's a couple rocks up there that we could use, but if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've walked around in their little pot of wood, but I thought there were a couple over here I could use. Yeah, there are. Alright, that's perfect. Alright. Let's get y'all set up. What's happening in this live? We just went out to a fossil ground, found a bunch of cool fossil stuff. Now we're back here to take a look at them, see what all we got. Let me shorten up this tripod here. Alright, bear with me here. Ugh. Alright, let's show you what we got. This rock, it's a crusher rock. So I collected two big ones. There were a couple big plates of stuff that we had, but I only took two of them and we took a bunch of small stuff. So here are two big ones. Number one, see there's a bunch of texture in it. Then on the underside we got a couple shells and such. And then this one is the one that I really got the whole breaking idea from. We got a big shell on the edge there, bunch of little stuff, and then we got another shell here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Kinda, get a right angle, there you go, that one. So, got those. And then we got a bunch of small stuff in this bag. First off, we got this little guy with some tiny texture on it. We got this guy. We've got this guy with some cool texture on the front. You can see these divots that run through it. They've got texture in them, as well as some shells and stuff on the back side edges. We got this guy, similar sort of deal. Cool textures on the front. These divots here got texture in them. It's obviously from something. What's this one? Oh, this one I could turn into a tiny one with the crusher. It's a single cross section of a little baby squid. I believe that's what those are. We got this guy, just a boatload of holy texture in it. Similar vibe with this one. This one's actually really nice. If I can get the same sort of vibe or the same sort of piece with a smaller piece, I always will, because then I can keep more different specimens. So like, where was it? This guy and this guy are the same type, obviously. But the one I'm gonna end up probably keeping is gonna be this, because this one is smaller, and then I can keep multiple of this size at my house in my collection. So this one, I'm definitely keeping. This one I might keep and give away to someone if someone wants them, that sort of stuff. But long term, this one's getting kept. That one probably isn't. And then this guy, bunch of texture. That guy right there is a shell. A bunch of these that just have a bunch of texture on the front. If you look at them close, like right here, those little divots, you can see they're from creatures that filled those gaps at one point in time, like little krill, little shrimps, that sort of stuff. This one's kind of a hybrid. It's got those divots on the front, like those two I showed you, and we're comparing the bigger and the smaller one, but it also has the holes on the back, so that's kind of cool. And then I think that's all we've got. No shell, like no individual shells, but I have a couple of those at home. But yeah, I think what we gotta start with is trying to break apart this big piece carefully into smaller pieces, because like this whole side, not much going on here. This side has way more stuff. I'm just gonna try and see if I can capitalize on that and get some more coolness out of it. That's not really a word, but you know what I mean. Shannon Copeland says, "You're so cool. I've learned something today." Well, thank you. That's what I'm trying to do. Whether it's show you an experience that you've never seen before, or pass on some information, or show you my mistakes so that you can kind of learn from them. That's all I'm trying to do. Make it an informational experience. All right, let's see if we can carefully break this thing apart. So we got to identify our two main pieces. So we have the shell thing here. Don't want to damage that. And we have the other shell piece is... That's a great question. Where is it? There's a couple cool pieces up here. So might not want to damage this section as well. I'm just noting key features so that way when I start hitting things, I don't destroy stuff that I like. Where is this other piece? I'm confused now. I know it's here. Alright. Am I losing my mind? It was on this piece. I'm certain of that. Let's just turn it side by side. Thanks, Lou. Turn the camera for you guys a bit. I thought it was on a corner. It was black, so... Oh, it's right here. That's that one. Okay, so we don't want to destroy this, or this. Okay. So I'm going to hit it right here. Perfect. So I now have a couple little, there you go. Couple little preserved pieces right there. Toss those in the bag. See if there's anything cool in that piece that just rolled away. Well, I just busted off this layer, and you can kind of see the layers in it. Nothing super cool revealing itself in there. Dinner's ready. We've already had Thanksgiving stuff. We typically do it around lunchtime. We're just breaking off a whole bunch of this layer stuff. Turning a fire, not quite. Oh, wow, look at that. We revealed something cool in there. That is a shell right in the middle of that piece. That's kind of cool. Just a bunch of layers we're getting rid of here. I'm just carving out around that shell piece right there in the corner, seeing if anything else reveals itself, but the rest of it is fairly uninspiring, so I'm just kind of reducing the size of it. All right. Oh no, I just made a big error. We split it, but actually that can be kind of cool. If we clean this out here with some water, we can have the shell piece that perfectly splits and shows the layers in between. That's kind of cool. And there's a shell piece in the middle of that too. Actually, I don't hate this like at all. I kind of like it, being able to see the pieces that make it up. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So you got the shell piece, and it opens up to show all the cool pieces on the inside as well. Don't hate it. Plus, I've got plenty of small shells just completely intact at home. I'm trying to see if there's anything super interesting in this plate here before I start busting it up. with stuff like this that isn't like super inspiring, it's just cooler to bust it open and see what's on the inside, see if anything cool happens. This has just got a bunch of layers to it. Hit that one more time. Yeah, just a bunch of layers. Nothing much super interesting. Snipe says this is the coolest thing you've seen today. Well, there you go. Put that sideways, see if we can. This piece is resilient. There we go. Yeah, still mostly just a bunch of layers. I mean, the layers in of themselves are cool, because you can see all the stuff that was in them, like corals and old sea invertebrates, that sort of stuff, like from Noah's flood timeline, all that sort of stuff. But yeah. But given that I have pieces like this that show the cross section of it much more cleanly, I don't find a need to keep these pieces. So unless I break it open and see something cool in the middle, then I'm just gonna chuck them. Which it seems as though that whole piece was just that. So there you go. Got that. We have this one piece, this guy, that just has that tiny little circle cross section. And we're gonna see if we can isolate that. I've been working on some flint knapping stuff for a future video, so I guess this will test some of my flint knapping skills. I mean, so far I'm doing well. There we go. Demask of Nasher. I don't know who Nasher is. So we're bringing the piece down and we still have our little circle. So I guess I'm doing well on that front. Hit that corner. Knock that off. This isn't like great flint knapping material, but you can kind of use the same tactics to work it down. There we go. Working it down just to that individual piece. Now, you got to be careful now. There you go. There's that thing by itself. We'll keep that. I'm going to go through these again at home and see kind of what I've got, what I want to keep, all that sort of stuff. Might as well throw this piece in the pouch as is. This one, as I said, I'm definitely keeping this. That one's cool. We'll keep this guy to maybe give away to someone. This guy, unique. Now, I've got a couple of these. I think I'm going to keep these two because they're the most unique, but the rest of them are almost all the exact same. This one does have a little bit of difference to it, but these two, to be found another day, looked at and say, oh, that's cool. But I'll be keeping these. And let's see what this piece is over here. I forget exactly what this is. This is kind of the same deal as stuff I already have. And it's mostly super plain, except for the very edges. The edges have stuff, but the rest of it doesn't have much. Let's crack this, see if there's anything in the middle. Ooh! See, this is why you do this. If it's uninteresting, crack it again and see if there's something interesting. You can see here a little protruding piece of something right there. It sticks out. That's sweet. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, to give to someone. Like long term for myself, I only keep stuff that's unique and different compared to the other stuff I already have. And some of this is very similar to stuff I already have. Yeah, that's something cool to look at. So I wore that down, chuck it in the pouch. We'll take one final look at all this stuff right before we close, which isn't going to be too long. Hit this again. Whatever that thing is, there's a couple more of them. Ryan is leaving in an hour. I'm going to be done in about 5 minutes. So I will be in shortly. That's Mom telling me the family plan. Yeah, that's sweet. One more hit. See what it is. Nothing much. All right, let's show you the final haul of the stuff we got. Clean off this rock. All right, so we got this little plate. Cool plate. It's got some shells and the whole texture in there. It's a good one. You've got this piece, which is the piece I might give away to someone else. It's a cool piece. This piece, which is what we just got. Cool texture with this protruding thing, which I don't know what it is. Oh, we've got our pieces of the shell. So this fits together, form a shell on the edge, and then on the inside you can see all the layers. That was kind of an accident, but it worked out well when I was kind of trying to work that piece down. This this shell that we revealed in the middle of that piece, that's kind of cool. There's some pieces with the layers to them. More layer pieces. And then a couple things in the bottom here. We've got piece with a couple cool small guys in it that I worked it down to a smaller size. Honestly, this piece is not that cool. I spent all that time working it down, which was cool to show you that I could do that. But we're gonna chuck that guy. One with cool small texture to it. Don't lose it. There we go. There you go. We got this guy with a little protruding piece on it. This guy with little shell pieces on it. And this guy, which is my piece with the layers that I'm gonna keep. So there you go. There it is. Let's get all this back in my bag. And then we're gonna close down this live, just a short little one. Kind of bring you guys along for what I was doing for a short little time. Sorry I was up close and personal with the camera. But yeah. It's night in India. Well, it is not night here in Pennsylvania of the United States. We got some gifts, thank you guys. Taylor Rodriguez sent 2 gifts. Well, thank you. And sent another one. Taylor Rodriguez, thank you. Are there birds around? A couple. It's night in India. Yeah, a couple birds around. Yes, thank you, Taylor. That's very kind of you. And Stevie sent one as well. Or Stevie. Sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. Yeah, just about an hour into the live. We're gonna call it quits. We had a good day out here. Found a couple fossils. Got to show you guys some cool stuff, but it's don't eat the insulation. Hopefully that's a joke. I'm assuming it is. But yeah, no, found some cool fossils. Got to show you guys the different layers as we broke it apart. Cool stuff. But yeah, I've recovered from Thanksgiving dinner. Got out, did a little activity, get it through the system. And yeah, we're gonna head back inside, watch some football, hang out with people, and enjoy them. You know, it's always good to enjoy family. I thank God every day for the fact that I have the amazing family I do. Both sides. I mean, Matt in the chat is my uncle. Him and my aunt are in from Colorado. They're with my grandparents on my other side. We're up here with them. I have an amazing family. I thank God for that. And hopefully you guys have that opportunity to go enjoy your family. If you do, don't take it for granted. And if you don't, I'm sure there's people out there who are important to you, and don't take those people for granted. They're a blessing. So with that being said, I am going to go enjoy my family. Thanks for coming in, guys. I enjoy you guys as well. I'm going to do some sort of live event tomorrow. I'm still working out the details of what that's going to be, but I will let you guys know when I figure it out. So with that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good Thanksgiving, guys.